Okay, we'll get started with today's press conference. To your left, in the first bank, most courageous jersey, Mathias Frank from Switzerland. He won the 2012 Tour of Utah. To his left, your right, David Lachlan Morton from the Garmin Sharp team, and now obviously in the Smashburger yellow jersey. So let's start with you, Mathias. Take us through going over Hoosier Pass, the last big climb, and then that short, punchy climb at the end. And obviously, it was using your time trialing skills all the way to the finish. So take us through the last few kilometers.
If I will go this slow or this few watts, I was going from the top to the finish in the TTs. I didn't make time cut, I think. I had one shot today. I knew I can make it there on this short, steep climb. But then it's the altitude here that you can feel. I just came over, I just had it till the top, just made it over the top, and from then on I could hardly pedal anymore and didn't recover to the finish. But luckily, I'm not the only one here who has this problem, so yeah, I made it to the finish and could hold them off, and it was all good for me.
And when you finished, you sort of collapsed a little bit there on the side. It was because such a strong effort when you finished.
Yeah, really, I had to go super deep there in this last steep pitch there, and it was just that's the altitude. Normally, if you would be used to it or on sea level, you can do this, and it takes you 20-30 seconds, and you'd be recovered again. But here, that's the difference racing in altitude. Once you go into the red, you never recover anymore. So, but I knew it's only downhill to the finish. TJ, my teammate TJ von Gardner, he did a recon on the stage, and he told me you just have to make it over the top, and it's going downhill for the rest. And the position you have on the top, you're gonna have at the finish, and he was right.
To David Lachlan. David, I understand when you were 13, you came to Breckenridge, so you've not unfamiliar with Breckenridge here. So, what's it feel like to be back here and obviously be in the Smashburger yellow jersey?
Yeah, it's incredible. I've been coming here for the last since I was 13, so 8 years or something. To ride into town today in front was really cool, and then to pull on the yellow jersey was awesome as well. To start with, I thought it was going to be like an advantage knowing the last hill, but I think maybe it was better not to know what was coming and just go for it, because I knew how hard it was going to be. But no, I left everything out there. So.
Questions? We got a microphone here too, in the front row. Neil.
Neil Rogers from Belarus. Question for Lachlan. First off, congratulations on the jersey. This is your second leader's jersey in 2 weeks. I guess two questions. Did you envision that you might be leading the race tonight, and do you intend to try to defend this all the way to Denver?
No and no. I think today was a hard stage to sort of pick out what was going to happen. When you have such a tough start like that, it can go one of two ways. And then we had a breakaway get a really long way in front. And then we had a teammate who was trying to chase it, ended up bridging to the breakaway, and it was just a really strange day. And then the breakaway came back really early. At that time, we just had to have representation in the breakaway. Otherwise, it's always better to be in front than to be chasing, So we put two in it, being myself and Rowan Dennis. And then that takes the pressure off the other guys, The brake wasn't working so well, but in the end, I got the go-ahead to have an attack and go for it. And then I sort of started to think about the stage and not really the jersey. But yeah, I mean, I'll take it, you know, it's still amazing. But yeah, for the rest of the race, no, I don't think, for me, this is my first year as a professional, and already this is an achievement in itself, and I think, you know, with the team we have, there's definitely some stronger guys in there. So yeah, for myself, the goal is to have someone from our team on top of the podium on Sunday, you know, so whichever way we can facilitate that.
It's Mary Topping for SBS Cycling Central. This is for Lachlan. Again, massive congratulations on your accomplishment. So you've been racing at altitude, done really well in Utah. Just wondering, when you made that effort over Hoosier Pass, what that was like for you? Were you at all feeling the effects of altitude as well with that effort?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you walk up the stairs here, it's hard work. So yeah, I mean, but the thing is, it's the same for everyone, you know. So if you know how to ride at altitude and you can manage your efforts in a way that is sustainable, then it's going to be much better off, you know. So on a climb like Hoosier, it's totally different to the last one, because it's a long, sustained effort. So you have a chance to really feel out how you're feeling, and you can really ride to what you're capable of. Whereas on that last hill, it's a mixture of, you know, adrenaline and just trying to get up it and then trying to drop other people. So it's just, you basically, you know, form and technique goes out the window, and you're just doing everything you can to get up there as fast as you can. So yeah, I mean, on Hoosier, it's nearly 12,000 feet at the top, so the effort, it's really different racing here. You just sort of got to be aware of it and know in yourself what you can do at this altitude.
Lachlan, John, right here. John Henderson, Denver Post. What brought you to Breckenridge at 13 and keep coming back to Colorado?
My dad started working in America, and he was working in Denver, but I think he kind of wanted to sell us on Colorado a little more and brought us to the mountains, and, you know, like Colorado, Breckenridge is one of the most beautiful towns in all of Colorado. So yeah, as soon as we came here, we loved it, and then every summer we put our hands up to come back. And then there was a junior Australia team that I was riding with, and they started having training camps here every summer. So yeah, I would always put my hand up and come over, and then even since then, when I've started riding with Garmin and the development team, whenever I get the chance to have a few weeks training, I always come here just because, I mean, it's relaxed, it's a really nice community, and the training's amazing, so.
So you had been on that climb today?
Yeah, I hadn't, it's kind of like, it's tucked away there that, I mean, you wouldn't really know it except for the fact that they were sending the race up there. But I was up here a couple of weeks ago and had the chance to look at it. And when I saw it, I was like, well, this is going to be quite difficult, you know. I mean, if the race was at sea level, it wouldn't be such a major thing. But when it's something so steep and you have to make such an intense effort, as Mathias was saying, it's impossible to recover. So all of a sudden, you know, a climb that would be not so significant becomes a really deciding hill. So yeah, as soon as I saw it, I knew it was going to be really difficult.
Question for Lachlan. I'm sorry, this is Dan Worry from Vela News. Lachlan, by our count, the top 5 riders in the race thus far are all under 23. Are we seeing a changing of the guard here? To what do you attribute the success of the youth movement here?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the young guys are strong. There's no doubt about it, and we're always willing to go put on the line and race for it. But then at the same time, Chris Horner took my yellow jersey last week and he's 42 or something. You know? So you know, I think there's definitely more young guys coming through and having an opportunity, but the old guys are still strong. You know, I don't think they're going to go anywhere too soon.
Could you guys both speak to tomorrow's stage, what you know about it, and what the plan is going forward?
I've I've ridden as far as Kremlin, I think, so I know that far. But no, we'll have a look at it tonight and come up with a plan to suit. I mean, yeah, as I said, it's not going to be a big deal for the team to defend the yellow jersey for me, you know. So I don't think we're going to burn too many matches trying to do that. But yeah, at the same time, you got to see how the race plays out. Like, it's just the same as today. You can have a plan, but what happens on the road is a totally different thing. So.
Mathias, when you started the day, was the stage win in the plan, or were you just kind of fulfilling your duty as a team rider today?
You know, it was we definitely had the plan to go for the stage as well today, but I was supposed to go in moves and good moves with guys like this guy over here at the mark, and so when he went up there, I followed. There were a lot of good guys in this big group we were in, and yeah, once you are in a situation like this, you can see that it's when we had this gap on the Hughes pass, I knew it's gonna go for a stage or will be about the stage, and yeah, from this moment on I was going for the stage, but before I didn't really think about it. No.
Okay, we'll take two more questions. How do the climbs compare here in Colorado to Switzerland?
Definitely the altitude is a big difference. Like our climbs, or in the Alps, the climbs they would be finished at the altitude we are here now. So it's like 2,200 meters. You're normally at the top of any climb, any pass in Europe. So, and here they only start from this altitude. So that's, I would say, the big difference. Maybe our climbs are a bit steeper. The roads are definitely a bit smaller, mostly smaller. But climbing is climbing, and any climb is hard. So.
This is a question for Mathias. Congratulations on the stage win. I spoke with TJ Van Garderen after the stage, and I asked him about, after 2 days of racing, which GC riders look good, and he said you look good, and you could win this race. So I'd like to hear your response to that.
Yeah, you know, I'm. It's hard to tell. No? You know, I just came here a week ago, or just the Sunday ago, and I think to win here, the most important thing is to be acclimated. You know, I think I'm in really good shape. I had a really good summer. I think my shape is super, but to win here, it's more than just the shape. It's more the acclimation, and I think I'm getting better day by day. Having 10 days here, it's already good, but I think I need some more days. But yeah, you never know what's happening here. So it was one of the strangest races I've ever seen today, and I remember last year it was the same thing here. The altitude changed the game totally. It's not the cycling we know, and it's something different. So I think anything can happen in this race.
Lachlan again. When you were in that group of three and approaching the finish line, wondering what your thoughts and strategy were on the road?
It's sort of it's difficult at the time because you're not really sure how far behind the guys are, how quickly they're coming. But I knew the course, so I knew it was all just coming down to that hill. So yeah, we worked quite well together, which was good. But yeah, I mean, you're just thinking about trying to get to the finish line first. You know, it's a pretty simple thought. Once I had the go ahead to ride for the stage, yeah, I was just thinking that the best way for me to win was to try and drop the guys on the last hill. But I mean, he's not, you know, he's not a shabby bike rider, and he showed me a thing or two in those last 200 meters of that climb. So yeah, at that point I was really just thinking about trying to get to the finish as fast as I could. So yeah, I mean, there's not a huge amount of thought that goes into it, and when it comes down to it, bike riding's a pretty simple thing when it's in the final like that. And especially at altitude, it makes everything simpler again because everyone's really limited as to what they can do physically. So I just focused on getting up that hill as best I could.
One final question. Are we good? In the front.
This is for Mathias. A couple seconds and maybe a celebration cost you the yellow jersey. May have cost you the yellow jersey. Your thoughts?
No, don't think about it. No, really, it's you can't have everything. I have a stage win here, and I'm super happy with this. And you know, I didn't really know that it was about coming down to these seconds, but it maybe tactically it's maybe not a bad thing. And I have to say thanks to this guy who opened the gap yesterday in the last corner, who got the 5 seconds. I think maybe it cost me more yesterday than today.
Okay, thank you. Congratulations on the jerseys.